Burnout is a real thing, and it will come get you one way or another, but it's better for it to meet you on your terms. The title may sound like clickbait, but there is truth in these words, at least truth for me. You should not make art full-time, and that is to say you, the artist, regardless of your medium, should not spend your working hours solely on output. That is shouting to the world your thoughts and your opinions, but not taking the time to listen to the world around you. It is equally important, not only for your personal wellness, but to grow in your craft. So take a moment to intake new information. What I'm trying to say is that you should take, like 5% of your working hours, carve that time out and invest it back into yourself. Pick up a hobby, read a book, go for a walk, even if that leads to a cafe. This is to recharge your creative batteries, intake new information, and find out new things that inspire you. Really just to think freely and unplugged from whatever you do. In order for this whole artistic journey to work and be sustainable, I am compelled to show you what's behind the curtain. To show you all the creative adjacent things that are in my life that inspire me and ultimately become the building blocks to my own creative projects. To lay out my thoughts and to showcase what I find interesting. Like today, we're walking through this scene, doing a bit of visual development and kind of playing with color for my next animation project. And if this spoils what comes next, well, that's fine. It's giving you an understanding of what drives my creativity. In so many words, what I'm trying to advocate here is mindful procrastination. To be a better painter by not painting. To not hit the record button and just observe. Frame your shot in your mind and bask in all that you can see, feel, and hear. Like, how are you going to paint the ocean if you've never been to the beach? How are you going to write about the human experience if you don't go out and experience anything? If we could shift gears here, we're constantly trying to push out new material, new creations, to get ahead of our cohorts or maybe just to keep up, to shine brighter than the day before. But that same grind is that itself, a grind. Chipping away at what makes the mechanism that is you work. Both producing and experiencing art is holistic. So what are you doing besides putting pen to paper? What are you doing other than your artwork? What are you doing to supplement your artwork and making those times matter? Sure, burnout comes from being overworked. But it also comes from a lack of clarity, losing sight of what you hope to achieve. In an effort to make the small moments more meaningful, this is me pivoting what I showcase from a place of experience and presentation to a place of exploration and learning new things. So much of my creative endeavors require immense amounts of research and development, and I think it's only natural to share it with you. To take a moment from your profession, to be an amateur, to defy perfection. There is a certain gem of wonder that resides in naivety, and I hope to harness it. I want to go out and experience new things with fresh eyes and come back and feel more worldly and more connected to my community. Take those details and apply them to things that I want to produce. I want to be inspired to try and do something new without any hang-ups of worrying about not knowing how to do the thing. This is to fail faster and learn from it. This is also to go back to things that I do know and rediscover them all over again. Maybe from a different angle, maybe the technology has changed. Maybe the process has evolved and there's something new to explore, something to make it faster to reproduce, or just a new style. Appreciate you letting me be verbose for a moment, but to be frank, a lot of artists tend to ride this guilt train anytime they take a moment away from doing their art. There's this assumption that every moment you have should be putting effort towards getting better, or that every moment that you have that's available needs to be spent making money. And in some ways, those can be true. It doesn't necessarily have to be the only truth. By not drawing all the time, you're giving yourself a moment to reflect on what you have accomplished, or set your mind available to work on the next thing. I spend these moments writing little notes on the edge of my paper, or maybe even a doodle. Open up a tab and leave a little note for myself to search for something later. Stumble across a word and I'll look it up. These little moments are seconds sometimes, and they lead to much grander thoughts later in the day. Like this project here, I wanted to study using some newer tools in Blender, and also just kind of figure out some styles for this next project I'm working on. So I decided, well, what's a good way to kind of represent the work and also still make progress on the work itself? I went and I looked back at the things that I did in my traditional art classes, which are to do still lifes, paint fruit, tell me about the lighting. How do these objects exist three-dimensionally? Fortunate for me, a lot of those things are already capable in the software itself, but that gave me more opportunity to learn other things to produce this painted style. To go back and review my painted studies and have that work speak through my work here and today. Well, campers, I hope you like what you saw, and I hope you were able to take something meaningful from this, and I'll see you in the next one. If you only had one chance, one opportunity. Mom's spaghetti. Am I coming in clear? I forgot I put the armrest down. One more time. Just a quick pass. I see my camera's overheating, but maybe I got a couple moments left. So I hope you like what you saw and that you can take away some of my words, some of my words.